Okay, hi everyone, and welcome in this webinar. And we are just going to take you through what we have discussed actually in our previous webinar on the training on the BIM quantity extraction from IFC files. So we are Agile QS Academy, and if you find more or if you need more information, actually, you can just go type www.agileqsacademy.com. So that's where we are putting all these inputs together so that we can be having one source which is going to have all the informations and all the courses, all the webinars, all the templates which we are going to be having. So welcome back again on board for this session, and we are going to take you through the topic as said before. So before we go to the discussion of what's the IFC, I would like, of course, to encourage each and everyone to be attentive on this one. So it's a really value addition to your skills, and that's where the world and the profession is heading. So it's going to be a very good if you are on it very well, but also if you don't really put your efforts to focus, and then is not going to be very good, as the traditional way of QS practice is being left behind, and everyone is now moving to the modern way of doing a profession, of doing things. So that's what we want to take you through, so that you can also stay ahead of other QSs who are still doing the traditional method of doing works, mostly specifically for the quantity extractions. Okay, so as a quantity surveyor, you might ask, what should I know about IFC? Okay, so this question is like, I am a quantity surveyor. Why should I care about IFC while I'm a quantity surveyor? Okay, so first you need to be, of course, you are a quantity surveyor, and now someone is bringing in a word IFC. You're like, what's the linkage? What's the link between a QS and IFC? So what is the link between these two? Okay, so of course I assume you know who is a quantity surveyor. That one is perfect. Then I'm going to define IFC for you. If you see this one, the IFC here is standing for an industrial foundation classes, and this industrial foundation classes is like a universal translator for construction software. So something which you don't know, a language which you don't know, you need a translator to translate for you. Now IFC is being defined as a translator. So that means if you don't know a software, IFC can be your translator of that software. So that it's a bit clear. So that means if you don't know Revit software, how to use Revit software, you can use IFC to translate Revit informations for you. Because if you go use the Revit, you might, and you don't know how to operate it, you might end up deleting informations which are very crucial, which are very important. Then for you to don't fall into that mistake, you might be required to know the skills on a translator. You might require to have an IFC reader. Then you need to require the designer or any who did a project in any software to translate the project package, the model, into an IFC. Then when you receive that one as an IFC format, as a QS, you will be able to visualize, to see all the informations in that project. Okay, then you might ask, what's the problem are we talking about here? You might say, I normally get my quantities, but what's the problem are we talking here? One of the challenge we are having is that there are various design softwares, and all these softwares, they are being used by different professionals. The structural engineers, they have their own softwares. The architects, they have their own softwares. So the civil engineers, they have their own softwares. The MEP designers, they have their own softwares. But a QS, you're required to compile all these informations, and you get quantities from all of these different professionals for you to prepare a budget, for you to prepare a bill of quantities. That's why you need an IFC file quantification skills for you to be able to work in a team which is having all of these different tools. Why? Because regardless of the software they are using, each and every of these software they use in design, it's able to give you an IFC file of a project. Okay, so different design softwares like AutoCAD, Revit, ArchiCAD, so they can actually save files in their own formats, and that don't work with other programs. So that makes it harder for quantity surveyors to get accurate measurements if you don't know how to use these softwares. For example, I can operate and get a prota structure project, then I can get the reinforcement schedule, I can get the concrete quantities. But for someone who is like, I'm a quantity surveyor, and you cannot really go use this software to get quantities, you need IFC skills only for you to be able to use it, which is what is going to come next. Okay, so in that case, for you to make it easy for you, you need to use the IFC file, then you can get the accurate measurement and cost data from the building models. But now it's a problem for most of the QSs to get informations from these models, to get informations from these softwares. That's why you see they send us the PDF files, and we cannot even ask them, hey, can you also please give me the IFC file of your project? Because sometimes we don't know what IFC can help us. We don't know how to operate IFC files. Then we just took another weeks for us to do the quantifications from the PDFs, from the 2Ds, even whereby the project is still in its inception, and they send us just the design intents. So actually in this case, you have a model, you can use these informations, they are enough. But we tend to start measuring the meter, the cubic meter, the square from the 2D files, but still when the project is in its inception stages. We will also have a look on that one, maybe in the later courses, how you decide at which level of the estimates are you going to work on your estimates. Because also sometimes, so different people, they try to go details when even the project is not at that details. So then you do some lot of mistakes in between, because you want to do 100% cost estimate when the design is still at 30% progress. So now the solution from this actually is going to be, now that the IFC, okay, so the IFC, it can create a common file format that all software can read and write. This means quantity surveyors also can. Okay, so that's the solutions, that's the IFC. So the problem is we have various softwares, and we cannot like say we are going to learn all of these softwares so that we can be able to get these informations inside the softwares. So what we are just required is to know how to operate IFC. Then any of those softwares, we just tell them, please give me the IFC file of your projects, then you can use it. Okay, So then you can ask, what is this going to impact on us? What is the impact of this on us? So, okay, so the first impact is that we are going to extract the accurate measurements and quantities from any building model. We are going to get the consistency data for cost estimation, regardless of which software the architect or engineer had used. So that's very good. And again, we are going to be able to share the pricing information to the design team and formats so everyone can use. So that's very good, because if we have these informations, so it's going to be easy for us then to do a quick pricing, and we can have a chat with the team easily when we are all talking at the same. So essentially, IFC ensures quantity surveyors can access the building information that we need for the accurate cost calculations, no matter what software created in the original design. So let's talk about this. When we are using the IFC, so every QS, wherever you are working on a model and you are using these IFC softwares, you are using an IFC model, you have to get the same quantities 100%. There is no, like, you got 100, then I got 101 or 98, then you say, okay, no. If we are using these models in informations, we need to have the same quantities, please, on an item. So that one has to be clear. There is no deviations on it, okay? So as you can see on these charts, so there is IFC for structural analysis, HVAC, energy analysis, facility management, cost estimation, code checking, and BIM models. So all the IFC, all of this we can use. So all of this, this one. So all of these trades, they can be able to be converted into an IFC. Then you ask for it, you get it, then you can go use it effectively. So by concluding with this, you have to know and understand that it's your right to ask a designer to give you an IFC file in case they have, for you to be able to access much more information which you cannot get on the 2D. So let me say, the softwares like Revit, like Archicad, like ProtaStructure, like SAP, they all are able to be exported as IFC. So don't fear to ask. Whenever you have lucky to have a very good designer, you can ask this model, just tell them to convert. So you don't have a Revit file, you don't have a Revit software, you don't have an Archicad, you don't have a ProtaStructure software. So you don't have, but you remember, you've already installed BIM Vision. So then don't have any problem, just talk to your designer. They convert their drawings into an IFC file, their model into an IFC file, then they send it to you. Then you are able to read it and extract the quantities, as we are going to be seeing it in our next session. So I hope this one is clear. If you find you need more informations, more clarifications, you have our WhatsApp group. You can go there and put your concern, you can put your question, you can ask your questions, then I can be able to attend to it in any case. So thank you so much. See you in the next session.